Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Folks, this is NOJHL Game Day. Alex Bastiavansky here, welcoming you back inside our league studio. And fasten your seatbelts as there are some Titanic tilts ready to go down today. Let's get you all set up before the puck drops in just a few minutes. The wait is over. The NOJHL Showcase takes place today and tomorrow. All 12 of the league's teams will play at Sudbury's Countryside Sports Complex. It is unquestionably one of the most important events of the season.
The NOJHL Showcase is a critical event in the league's calendar, providing a unique platform for players, teams, scouts alike. And with all 12 teams competing over 2 days, it's not just a chance to boost the league standings, but also an opportunity for players to shine on a bigger stage. Showcase gives scouts from higher levels of hockey, whether it be junior, college, professional, a real concentrated look at the league's top talent.
And he scores!
We've had a lot of players move up to the next level. Many of them as a direct result of playing in the Showcase with the NOJHL, inviting off to camps and tryouts, meeting with scouts. It's been a big part of the success for our commitments to our players to the next levels.
So here's a look at the schedule for the opening day. The Gold Miners and Rapids kick things off at 11:15. Elliott Lake and Espanola at 1 p.m. and the Sioux Eagles and Iroquois Falls at 1:40. The Blind River Beavers against Powassan at 3:45. The Sioux T-Birds against the Rock at 4:15. And Sudbury and Hearst face off at 6:45. Some players that will definitely be garnering attention at the showcase. Yes, Brett Romanek, obviously, of Timmins, just 16 years old in his second NOJHL season. He leads the league in scoring up to this point. Mathieu Comeau from the Hearst Lumberjacks just turned 19 years of age and 11 points so far this season, tied for third in league scoring. And the man he's tied with, Cameron Menard of the Espanola Paperkings. Cameron, 18 years old, 3 goals, 8 assists for 11 points. And Eden McCartney, another one of those super rookies from the Sudbury Cubs. Great season so far. The Kitchener native just turned 18. He has 9 points, second in rookie scoring up to this point. Okay, some quick highlights from Sunday's games. The Sioux T-Birds were looking to stay undefeated in Hearst against the Lumberjacks.
6 power play goals. Shillinglaw scores! What a kidney drive that was there, but it was near the blue line. He kicks it back. Open ice, Como. Here's a chance. Scores! Damien Bordon Lemoine! At the line. There's a shot from Willette Reyna. Scores!
Hearst all over the T-Birds like a bad rash. They hand Sioux their first loss of the season. taking them down 7-4. Iroquois Falls and Timmins, the Storm had a great start to the season, going 3-1, but they got rocked in Timmins. Sorry, the pun was there, had to use it. Travis Pone makes it 2-0 Timmins in the first. Skip ahead to the third. The Rock led 5-1 when Ethan Albert goes for a skate, and he absolutely shreds the Storm defense. A sublime solo effort. 6-1 at that point. And Iroquois Falls was getting roughed up in every way. Sam Gallagher lays out Aiden Agnello with the monster open ice hit. 9-1 Timmins, the final score. French River was coming off its first win of the season over Powassan. They hosted Sudbury and continued their strong play. They led the Cubs 2-1 in the third period off this Ralph Koulis goal, but you can only keep Sudbury down for so long. Such a potent offense. Sam Asinaway notched things up at 2 apiece here, which meant that this one needed overtime. And of course, it was Lucas Signoretti coming through in the clutch once again as he rips it home to give the Cubs the victory. But it's got to be said, French River has come a long, long way from their 9-1 opening game loss. Okay, your primetime player from last night, we're giving it to Don Heaven Vailloux from Hearst. He was a monster against the Sioux Thunderbirds. 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist against the T-Birds to hand them their first loss of the season. And your play of the day, brought to you, of course, by our friends at BrokerLink Auto, Home, and Business Insurance. BrokerLink, life can be confusing. Your insurance shouldn't be. And it could be nobody other than Ethan Albert of Timmins, who channeled the great Bobby Orr with this rush.
Albert's going to have to just peel back there. He's got Mayo right on his tail. Albert looking to streak back in here. Ethan Albert with a strong move. Albert, score! Beautiful goal by Ethan Albert. What an individual effort there. Strong, determined effort by defenseman Ethan Albert, and he's going to pick up his first goal of the season.
Yeah, and just a reminder that to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the league all throughout the season, be sure to check out the NOJHL's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. It's off to the rink for puck drop now. Enjoy the game.
And we welcome you to the first game of the NOJHL Showcase for 2024 on the Frontline broadcast, live from Countryside Arena in Sudbury. I am Matthew Sukram alongside Harrison Clement. And up first in a 2-day showcase is Espanola and Elliott Lake. And we thank you for joining us on Flow Hockey as well as on our YouTube channel on the Frontline broadcast. Well, Harrison, this is a matchup against 2 teams that are really trying to find their footing in the early going of this NOJHL season. Both teams come in with a combined 2 wins.
Yeah, it's been a slow start for both of these teams. Having to make adjustments. Elliott Lake still without their arena, but on the positive news, the Hockeyville event had just happened. The Stanley Cup was indeed in Elliott Lake, and here in Sudbury there was an awesome preseason game between the Penguins and the Ottawa Senators, held on behalf of the town of Elliott Lake while they are still under construction. Both of these teams have had to make a couple of adjustments, notably for the Espanola Paperkings. They are without Lucas Signoretti, as he is now with the great Sudbury Cubs, but they still have players putting up some fantastic points. They have Braden Guthrie in second overall in goals with 7, and Cameron Menard with 11 points, 8 of those being assists. So they still have some firepower, a lot to work with, and both of them looking for their second win overall of the season.
Yeah, Espanola comes in 1-4-1-0 on the year with 3 points. They are in 8th place. The Elliott Lake Vikings come in 1-3-0 with 2 points. They are in 9th place. Espanola are coming off a year where they snatched the last playoff spot in the West before bowing out to Blind River in what was a surprising 7-game first-round series. But like you said, so far they have struggled to find any consistency, and what they also would like to see a little more consistently, or to see some consistency on, is the defensive side. Like you said, they haven't had a problem putting the puck in the opposition net, but they have had a problem in not allowing the other team to score on them. They are minus 14 in goal differential, which is last in the league in that category, having allowed 37 goals against in just the 6 games that they have played.
Well, of note, kind of skewing that stat is an outlier game where Espanola lost 11-1 against the Greater Sudbury Cubs. We don't expect to see too many games like that, so that does skew the stat line a little bit, especially this early in the season, but we're not expecting something like that here today.
So you take those 11 goals away, that brings their goal differential down to minus 3. They would have only allowed 26 goals had they not allowed any in that game against the Sudbury Cubs. But like you said, the Cubs are the outlier in that stat, where on the other side, the Elliott Lake Vikings ranked last in the league last year in both wins and points, looking to move up in the charts in the NOJHL this season, losing their first 3 games of the year, but they're coming off a win over the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners on Saturday. Looking for some more offense, though. They've scored the least amount of goals in the league to this point with just 9, but they've allowed the 3rd least amount of goals against with just 16.
Which is kind of a strange situation to find yourself in, but that does give you lots of room for positive improvement, especially, as we said, this early, and the standings aren't exactly too far spread apart. Greater Sudbury with 12 points overall, Timmins with 10, and the Thunderbirds tied with the Beavers with 9. The bottom of the pack is tied at 2 with 4 teams with only 2 points. The Paperkings with 3, and French River Rapids have 4. And a note on that 3, that is because of the newly implemented tie that has been added to the game. So previously in the league last season, there was the overtime, and then it would go to a shootout during the regular season, and the winner of the shootout would get the 2 points, and the loser would get the 1 for being in overtime. This year, a tie has been implemented where after 7 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime, if there is still no victor decided, both teams walk away with a point apiece, which we have now seen 4 instances of. It was between the Espanola Paperkings and I believe it was between Blind
River. They tied 6-6 in their last game.
Yeah, in the last game that they just played. So an interesting thing that keeps the game moving a little bit, lets those games finish in a more even standing. And frankly, when you're out in small towns like Powassan or Elliott Lake, lets you get home a little bit earlier.
That certainly is the case. And the other thing that's been changed about the league this year is the fact that it's just one conference, and they will be ranked 1 through 12 with the top 8 teams making the postseason.
So with
Tonight's
that,
starting lineup is brought to you by the Clubhouse by Gateway Golf, located on Oak Street East in North Bay, Ontario, with over 200 plus real-time courses, simulated arcade games, and delicious eats. The Clubhouse is North Bay's newest social hangout.
Well, with that note from our wonderful sponsors at Gateway Golf in North Bay, an awesome place to test out their state-of-the-art golf simulators. Let's announce starting lines as listed to us. For the Paperkings, their top line looks to be Graydon Guthrie, Grant Booth, and Cameron Menard. And for the Elliott Lake Vikings, we have Dylan Hendrick, Mason Windsor, and Tanner Gould.
Sorry, it looks like they've just switched those up. I think we've just got an update on those. So on the Elliott Lake Vikings side, Carter Carrier and Mason Windsor are starting alongside Tanner Gould, Matthew Callow, and Dylan Hendrick. In net, Brogan Colken is going to be the starting goaltender. And then on the on the Espanola Paperkings side, you've got Aiden Pethick lining up with Liam Rampersad on the blue line. And then up front, Cameron Menard, Graydon Guthrie, and Grant Booth are your starters, with James Meredith getting the nod in net.
Little last-minute retooling for both teams as we are nearing the opening face-off. We have Espanola starting off on the left in their darker colors, a little bit less bright than we are used to. And then
right.
We have Elliott Lake in their white, green, and golds on the right, going right to left. And it appears we will be underway very shortly as the final buzzer sounds.
So Brogan Colcoin is 0-1 with a 3.01 goals against average and a .919 save percentage coming into this game. James Meredith 0-3 with a 6.04 goals against average and a 0.862 save percentage in the 3 games he has played. So Meredith and Jack Helke of the Elliott Lake Vikings, of the Espanola Paperkings, have split the games evenly. 3 games apiece there, whereas Brogan Colcoin is starting just his 2nd game of the season this year for Elliott Lake.
And looking confident in the number 1 in net for Elliott Lake. It appears there's going to be a brief little meeting before the 2 teams line up. Schedules are a little bit different here at the showcase as you have an abbreviated warm-up. Got to keep things moving, especially when you have so many games in a day. I believe it's 4 per ice pad at the double pad here, and the teams are lining up now.
So Espanola, Elliott Lake getting ready for puck drop here. And they'll have to restart, and now we are underway as the Paperkings drop the puck back. That is the captain, Aiden Pethick, in control. Sends it up the middle. It's knocked off the stick of Grant Booth and now corralled by the Vikings. They will move it through the neutral zone with Dylan Hendrick getting hit along the far side boards. Back into the neutral zone. It's over the stick of Guthrie, and the Vikings go the other way. Hendrick gets it up, trying to play it to the middle. Gets it on the stick, the backhand. Save made, rebound chance is not redirected towards the net. Callow at the line, playing it into the corner. That's Booth back there. He gets out of the way of the bodies in that area, and he'll move through the neutral zone over the blue line, going towards the net. Gets knocked down, going towards the net, but the official keeps his hand down as Drigo dumps the puck in. 1 minute into the game as the puck comes back out to the neutral zone. No score. Anderson drops it back to Grabopoulos. And now through the middle is Jason Gallant. Gets stopped, goes into the corner. Gallant looking for some support. And they might get it here. 2-on-1 into the zone. There's a shot, save made. And then the rebound chance is sent wide of the net. Meredith, check that. Colcoin making the stop there. Meredith in net on the other side for the Paperkings. Kedrov, team leader with 3 goals. Gets the puck knocked off his stick. Ravel follows that up and dumps it down. That's Meredith playing it there. Much bigger ice surface here than we normally see when we do the Voodoo's games in Powassan at the Sportsplex. Picked up behind the net. Caden Bunn. Oh, and a hard hit on the far side. Paperkings find the puck again. Glander back behind the blue line. Moving through, that's Rampersad. Offside will be the call. About 2:15 into this game.
Espanola putting on the pressure early, playing with speed, clearing their zone effectively, and not afraid to dump the puck in and fight along those board battles to create turnovers and opportunities. But Elliott Lake has so far been quick in clearing their zone, not playing with as much speed, but playing defensively really effectively.
Nathan Marincola off the draw for
The Paperkings wins that one. Bad turnover behind the net. Marincola back there. Could not get a pass out in front. And the Vikings skated out. Strickland couldn't move it. Here's a chance. Save made as Nathan Marincola with a second opportunity on this shift, putting it towards the net.
Espinola keeping up the pressure, making those secondary plays happen, even after the Vikings managed to get a little bit of control, active stick work, making sure that they're getting pucks onto the net early.
Just one shot apiece so far. .234 into the game. Into the corner. Matthew Callow looks to get it out, and he will clear it. Braden Westbury over to Pethick, back to Westbury. His pass into the zone is picked off. Pethick down the right side. Tried to get the backhanded shot towards the net. That stopped. In behind the net for the Vikings is Carrier. Dumped out. Pethick back in control. His clearing attempt is stopped. Now there's a chance for the Vikings. A shot. It's redirected wide. I don't know if Gold got a touch on the puck on that far side. Westbury. Back over to Pethick. Up to the blue line, entering the zone. Guthrie drops it back. Shot in! Off the near side post. And the Paperkings thought they had one there with Grant Booth taking that rip from just inside the zone. Down the left wing, Robinopoulos looking for Booth there. Knocked off his stick, up high. Out to the blue line, kept in the zone. Hill slapping that one just to keep it alive briefly. Now it's sent down the ice, and that will be icing called against the Elliott Lake Vikings. Almost 4 minutes into the game, no score.
Espinola with a golden opportunity just being saved by the post and turned into a brief 3-on-2 for Elliott Lake, which they were not able to take advantage of, as the defense of Espinola was able to get back in time and keep that pressure on to avoid a fortunate situation for them turning unfortunate against them.
Face off to Colcoin's stick side. It's won by the Paperkings. Chasing that one is Robinopoulos. Knocked off his stick and out to the neutral zone. Hill dumps it, or plays that back up to Robinopoulos. And it's knocked off his stick to the far side. Picked up there by Nye. Just out of the reach of Luke Hill. But now he gets back in position, but then he gets shoved in the boards, and a pass out in front gets blocked. Down to the point, and the Vikings can't hold it in. Gravel chasing that one back. Elliott Lake regrouping. And now Dugwell gets it over the blue line. Elliott Lake coming in onside. Pass right into the slot. Backhanded chance is stopped by Meredith, and he'll hold on to it for the stoppage and play. Almost 5 minutes in now, still no score.
Brigham Nye keeping the puck in nicely at the blue line and creating a really good centering pass. Unfortunately for the Elliott Lake Vikings, they were all on top of that, not creating much space to move the stick, and the goaltender was right on top of that. 2-2 are the shots.
First meeting of the season between these two clubs. Elliott Lake swept, check that, Espinola swept Elliott Lake in all 4 meetings last year. Callow. Dugwell can't get it. Couple of players taken down right below us at center ice. Still a good battle here. And now sent in by Rampersad. That's Carrier in the far side corner. Now he brings it out behind the net, tries to get it up to Dugwell, and Dugwell makes a nice move to get around a defender. Now they enter the zone onside. Looking to play that one around the boards, but it's up to the stick of the Paperkings, and they will get it out. Icing called against Espinola. And we'll go back the other way.
You're able to notice on these past few plays how the spacing is affecting the play, how the Vikings are a little bit more spread out than they're used to, not expecting to see the puck move as quickly, not able to get quite in position as quickly as they need to. Both teams need to adjust to this as Espanola is using their speed to close the gap quickly.
Rampersad ends up with the puck. Off the glass and cleared, but that should be and will be another icing call. 6:02 into the game, no score. First game of the showcase on our side. On the other end,
it was the
Kirkland Lake Gold Miners taking on French River. That game's still going on right behind us. And then we will also be carrying the Blind River Beavers and Powassan Voodoo's games starting at 3:45 this afternoon. In the corner, couple of hard shoves there, but Sam Lescarbot tried to find someone in front for the Paperkings, but it's knocked away from him and sent down the ice. And another icing call against Espanola.
Espanola struggling to effectively clear their zone. A few icings almost in a row now, forcing players to stay on the ice. And the Vikings getting that change in. They also get last change as they are the home team in this matchup.
Face off to the stick side of Meredith. Down to the point, that's Gravel. Gravel gets the shot on. There was a deflection in front off the stick of Anthony Bertrand. Now going the other way, Grady Murphy. Looks like the call will be offside. 7 minutes in. No score yet here on Rink 1. The home ice of the Sudbury Cubs, but they're sharing it over the next 2 days.
Yep, and an exciting part to kick off the NOJHL Showcase.
Playback underway. That is Lescarbot with the puck. And another stoppage in play. Really feels like these two teams still trying to feel each other out in this one.
Well, it's their first matchup of the season, getting adjusted to each other's style of play on this big ice. Espanola likes to play fast, likes to play aggressive, and is certainly playing in their favor, but they're starting to be pushed back in their zone a little bit more by the Vikings, and they've been forced to clear it a few times, leaving them with a lot of icings.
Elliott Lake were shut out twice last season in the 4 meetings between these two clubs. There's a shot from the point that goes wide. In behind the net, Caden Bunn with it. Espanola turning, firing wide of the net again. Aiden Pethick on that shot. Jonah Cardinal over to the far side. Nye tried to glove it down. Espanola on the backhand, send it the other way. Looking for some clearance. They do get it, but right away Dubois sends it right back in. In behind the net, St. Onge once again. Gets it up ahead, and racing down the left side is Brigham Nye. Puts it in front, and now into the far side corner. Jonah Cardinal and Nye in that area. Walking out in front, stop made, rebound is sent to the back of the net. Cohen George McKee with the goal, and the Elliott Lake Vikings are ahead 1-0.
A nice shot with the rebound. And players there just able to barely get any stick on it, slide it nicely behind Meredith, who was too far forward after making the very nice initial stop. And after just 4 shots on goal, the Elliott Lake Vikings take an early lead here in the first with 11:34.
Yeah, just no one checking on George McKee back there.
That play started to develop behind the net, and then it seemed all at once that it was just surrounded by Vikings players and not quite enough Paperkings.
And that's going to be his first of the season and first career goal in the NOJHL. Now there's a chance for the Paperkings to try and get one back. It's stopped. And the Vikings get it out. And again, that came off a play where the Paperkings looked like they were pressing, and there's another shot. That's a glove save made.
Espinola trying to get one back, keeping that sustained pressure in the Viking zone after the initial face-off. And they just have not been able to break through. The Vikings have had really good net front presence so far, able to clear up any loose pucks and keep those shots so far to the outside.
Yeah, this is Cohen George McKee's first career game in the NOJHL.
And another shot towards the net for Espinola, but a good stick in the way. Deflects it once more out of play, and we're going to have another face-off here in the Viking zone.
He appeared in 6 games already this season with the Little Britain Merchants of the PJCHL. So here he is in his first game with the Elliott Lake Vikings, and he's got his first goal. Vikings now trying to get out of their zone. Nye dumps it down. That one took a weird turn and rolled right towards Meredith. And as they touch the puck, the whistle is gone. I didn't see whose arm went up, though.
There's a player down.
Oh, there's a player down in the corner. Okay.
Yep, as that puck curled in towards Meredith and was stopped up. Trainer out on the ice now. Did not see who went down in the corner. So we will have a brief stoppage as the trainer assesses the situation.
Again, didn't see the play coming out of the zone. Saw the dump out, and our heads were turned the other way. And it looks like the player will need to be helped getting off the ice. Just going back to the history of these two teams, so they played each other 4 times last season, with the Paperkings winning all of them 5-0 over Elliott Lake on September 22nd. 10-4 on October 27th. Their closest game was the following contest, December 15th. That was a 7-5 Paperkings win. And then they really laid the hammer on them on February 23rd. The Paperkings won 11-0 that game over Elliott Lake.
Any game over 10 you typically wish to forget.
That's it. The Paperkings were a team that could really score last year, though.
They were an offensive force. They just were absolutely relentless in just keeping the pressure on, getting as many shots on net as possible, and suffocating any space when a team was trying to break out. We saw many a time in Powassan where, especially on that smaller ice, the pace was just unmatched by basically any other team we saw.
Yeah, they were plus 52 in the goal differential category, as that player is helped off the ice and is making his way to the Vikings dressing room. That looks like Nolan Strickland for the Vikings, so hope he is okay, as he took a hit in the boards or fell himself. Again, didn't see the play. But we return to action here. 1-0 lead for the Vikings, who unfortunately will be shorthanded for the time being. at the blue line. Menard makes his move, trying to go to the middle. Puck gets knocked off his stick. And they go the other way. Hendrick sends it to the middle. That one's deflected out. Vikings had one man back in Callow. He'll flip it into the zone, and the Paperkings get it back. Menard touches it over to Guthrie. Guthrie looked like he was trying for a lead pass to the stick of Booth. Booth on it now. He's got Guthrie helping him out. Booth puts it through the legs, and there's a chance on net, but poked away off the stick of the goaltender, Colcoin. Away goes Dylan Hendrick, one-on-one. Nice play by Hill to poke it off his stick. Hill lost his stick, though. Hendrick trying to find it, and he gets some support to clear from that side. The puck comes around to the near side. Espanola player takes a spill into the boards. Elliott Lake looking for the loose puck at the line. Callow with the shot that goes wide, glove side. Up to the stick of Guthrie for Espanola. Now ahead to Anderson. He lost it. Dugwell trying to go the other way. Hill forcing him into the boards. And a poke check play there. Gets him off the puck. In behind the net now. A couple of guys from both teams converging. They get it out in front. There's a quick shot in, but the save is made by Meredith. Espanola in control. They move it out through the neutral zone. Anderson lost it coming over the blue line. Gallant had to put on the brakes. He couldn't carry it in. Almost 12 minutes into this game. 1-0 Elliott Lake. Puck sent down the ice. Icing called once again against the Vikings.
A really good sequence of forechecking there by the Vikings, creating quite a few opportunities for themselves. Started off of a breakout pass by Tanner Gould to Dylan Hendrick, and they just kept up the pressure. Dugwell along the boards was really effective in keeping the puck in play in the Espanola and created some opportunities around the net, and a really good little burst there from the Vikings.
Right off the draw, a shot comes in that goes just wide on the glove side of Colcoin. Off the stick, dumped in, now right back out. Backhanded shot goes off the boards, and Thompson ends up with it. He gets it ahead to Menard. Menard to the far side, that's Booth. Puts on the brakes, lost the puck though. And now he'll just freeze it against the boards. Couple of players in the area. Glove down from that shot from the boards as Colcoin holds on to it. We've reached the halfway point, and we will take a break. It's 1-0 Elliott Lake.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Once again, Matthew Sukram with you here alongside Harrison Clement. It's 1-0 for the Elliott Lake Vikings over the Espanola Paperkings, our first game of the day. We will also have the Blind River Beavers taking on the Powassan Voodoos. You can catch that starting at 3:45 right here on the Frontline broadcast, as well as on Flow Hockey. And then tomorrow we've got an action-packed lineup. We start the day with Espanola and Kirkland Lake at 11:15. French River will take on the Sioux Eagles at 1:40. Iroquois Falls will take on Elliott Lake at 4:15. And we finish up the two-day event with the Powassan Voodoos and the Greater Sudbury Cubs at 6:45. All of that action taking place on Ice 2. So we have to tear down our equipment and move over to the other rink.
Yep, to the other side of the see-through wall that we have peering into the other rink there. But, hey, it's hard to complain when you get 2 days of straight hockey. It's my favorite event of the year. I got to experience my first showcase last year. Got to call 7 games. It was a marathon, but it's easily my favorite thing of the hockey season.
Yeah, it's awesome as well for any of the scouts to come by and get to see all 12 teams basically over a 2-day period. As we resume action here, Paperkings fire wide, bounce right back in front of the net. There's a chance. Couple of attempts, and the pad stayed down, and Cole Coyne keeps his team ahead 1-0. Delayed offside as the Vikings enter the zone. That's going to allow Menard to get it out. He takes a tumble coming across the blue line, but has the wherewithal to drop it back to his blue line, and then it's cleared out. Hendrick has it for Elliott Lake in the neutral zone. Hendrick to the right side, poked off his stick, but now he got it back, sent it to center ice, and now it's up ahead onto the stick of Mason Windsor. In behind the net, they get tied up back there, and now it's controlled by Liam Rampersad. He sends it up on the stick of Grobinopoulos into the neutral zone, past the stick of Murphy, and that allows Elliott Lake to regain control. Tried to kick it ahead to Windsor, that got blocked, and now Espinola the other way. Poked off the stick, out of reach of Caden Wickland, but he sends it to the center, and then the backhanded shot goes wide of the net. That was Grady Murphy in the area for Espinola. Along the half boards and into the corner, St. Onge has it for the Vikings. He'll backhand it out. That'll go the length of the ice, and that will be icing called. Almost 14 minutes into this one. 1-0 Elliott Lake.
It's felt like both teams were fairly evenly matched through the beginning of the game, even after the Elliott Lake goal. But after around the 10-minute point, it feels like the Vikings have just been slowly gaining momentum. Their neutral zone pressure has increased, and they've been getting continual chances towards the Paperkings.
Trying to get the shot off, and that one is overskated. We've seen that quite a few times today already, where players just losing the puck from their own volition. Now there's a chance on net, and that is blocked. Dubois right in on Cole Coyne. Into the neutral zone, Hill has it. Down the right side, into the middle. There's a shot, bounced off the stick of the defender, off the shoulder, back in front of the net now. And that's going to be our first penalty of the game. Looks like it's going to be cross-checking against Elliott Lake.
And the Paperkings, with 5:29 remaining in the period, get their first chance to really take advantage of the space that they're playing in, utilize their speed. They've been getting a lot of good shots on net and trying to follow up close in front of the goaltender, but there's been too many Vikings for them to really capitalize on that. Now with one less on the ice, they have full opportunity to get their first goal.
Espinola with the fourth-ranked power play, 27.3% coming into the game, but it's the Paperkings who are attacking first here. An opportunity deep in the zone for Nate Dugwell, and the Paperkings have to regroup as they try to move the puck down the ice. Again, Matthew Callow in the box for the cross-check. The Paperkings turn it over, but Pethick will be able to chase down the loose puck. Already 40 seconds off the clock on the Paperkings power play. Elliott Lake comes in with their power play ranked 7th in the league, 76%. They've allowed 6 goals while shorthanded so far this season on 25 chances. And that one slapped away to the neutral zone. Maybe a shorthanded opportunity coming here. Racing in, Bertrand. Pass across the far side. Windsor there, holding it as he carries it to the end boards. Gets knocked off the puck. And the Paperkings, with 50 seconds remaining on the power play, move it through the neutral zone. Flipping it up. There's a chance on net. Rolling shot gets stopped. And the rebound cleared away.
A really nice sequence there to start off the penalty kill by Dugwell. He keeps on that pressure, burns about 40 seconds on his own, and then gets a really good chance with Mason Windsor also with a shorthanded attempt.
20 seconds to go in the Espinola power play. Pethick shot deflected, just goes wide. I think that was Nathan Marincola in front of the net. 5 seconds to go. Pethick off the boards. We're back to 5-on-5 play. And the Vikings still maintain that 1-0 lead. Marincola racing in again.
That's about as perfect a penalty kill as you can ask for from the Vikings there. They keep up the forecheck, keep up the pressure, and keep the puck out of their zone.
Over the blue line, down the right side, Marincola shot is stopped. Nice blocker save there. And a rebound chance goes up high off the face mask, it looks. Another chance, trying to center it, the shot, and he fans on it. Anderson, that gets hit hard on the end boards, but stays in play here as the Paperkings really starting to be aggressive in the offensive zone. 2:35 to go in this period. Elliott Lake holding on to this 1-0 lead. Would love to get to intermission with that lead intact. Trying to move it to the corner. That one stopped. Out to the neutral zone and dumped down the ice by Cohen George McKee, our goal scorer on the afternoon. Marincola in the neutral zone. Looking for the pass. He finds Hill down the right wing. Hill look to carry it. Tries to center it. Bouncing around. Hill finds it again on the far side. Shot right at the blue line is blocked, and it comes out of the zone. 1:45 to go. And it's really opened up here in the last couple of minutes. Oh, and there's a big collision at the side of the net. Elliott Lake still struggling to get the puck out. And now they do as it's into the neutral zone. Espinola fires it right back in. Behind the net, now to the far side. And cleared out by Elliott Lake. The Vikings turn it right back over. Into the zone is Menard. Menard makes a move around. The shot save made. The rebound is stopped as well. What a period so far for Brogan Colcoin. With 1:14 to go, he has made some big-time stops.
Colcoin's positioning has been fantastic so far. He's been getting in front of everything, deflecting effectively into the corners. And the nice thing is the Vikings have been really good at gobbling up those rebounds and making sure that they're clearing the zone effectively. Espinola's been just pouring on the Jets so far towards the end of this period, and the Vikings have been countering it quite well.
Oh, bad turnover there. Vikings trying to capitalize, but they can't. Out of the zone is Pethick. One-on-one. Pethick down the right side takes the shot, and it's ripped high. And now the Vikings go the other way on a breakaway. Windsor, save made as Meredith sticks out the left side pad to deny Windsor and keep the deficit 2-1. Down the other way, Grant Booth gets blocked. Espinola in the slot, can't complete the pass as it goes to the near side. Booth trying to get it with 20 seconds to go. Out to the neutral zone, Rampersad has it. Now Menard dumping it in. Colcoin looks to get rid of it. Gravel up to the blue line. Bertrand drops it back. The shot scores! Ivan Kedrov with the goal. 1.4 seconds left on the clock, and they increase their 1-goal lead to 2.
What a perfect breakout there, getting in the way of the puck, utilizing the space that they have, and just taking his time, knowing how much time is on the clock, and absolutely roofs this one, popping the bottle. 2-0 for the Vikings.
And it was a clean shot too, right? That's one of the first times that they, aside from the breakaway, I think, haven't had any traffic in front of the net. Puck gets dropped, and the buzzer goes, and through 20 minutes of play, the Vikings with a 2-0 lead over Espinola.
The Vikings looked really solid throughout this period. The Paperkings had quite a few high-danger chances, but the Vikings were clearing the puck really effectively, staying on top of it, and it's kind of a knock against the Paperkings. They were aware of where the puck was. There was a few opportunities that the Vikings made for themselves just by being in the right place and keeping track of things, especially at the blue line where you had that really good breakaway opportunity by Windsor, blending in, staying on top of things, and creating high danger chances even when there's only seconds left on the clock.
All right, so he's Harrison Clements. I'm Matthew Sukram. We will be back for the second period in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. You're watching the NOJHL 2024 Showcase on Flow Hockey and on the Frontline broadcast.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency. Welcome to the Clubhouse by Gateway Golf. Located on Oak Street East in North Bay, with over 200 plus real-time courses, simulator arcade games, and delicious eats, the Clubhouse is North Bay's newest social hangout. You can book times now at gatewaygolf.ca or come visit at 245 Oak Street East in North Bay, Ontario. The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Welcome back. Matthew Sukram with you here alongside Harrison Clements. Second period action about to get underway between the Espanola Paperkings, going from our right to left in their blue and neon green, against the Elliott Lake Vikings in just traditional plain old white.
They got the gold in there.
That's, yeah. They've got a 2-0 lead right now. And they move the puck through the zone. Tipped at the blue line. Aiden Pethick with it behind the net. Flipped off the boards onto the stick of Graydon Guthrie. Now sent all the way back and right back up to the blue line as it's chased in by Grant Booth. Being held along the boards. Guthrie to the line. Big slap shot got through but deflected wide. Pethick with it in behind the net. That is Menard there. Menard gets thrown into the boards by Carrier. Sent back around to the near side. Trying to get that one out is Tanner Gold. Can't do it as Guthrie's there, and he sends it wide of the net. Picked up by Menard. Off the boards, it's backhanded slap pass is stopped, and it's cleared out by Elliott Lake. Shot right back in as Carrier is able to clear it down the ice. Icing waved off, looking for the centering pass. That one is picked up by the Vikings, still held at the line there by Bertrand. Now it's out of the corner and off the side of the net, it looked like. A minute 30 in. 2-0 Elliott Lake. Down the ice, and that one will be icing against Espanola.
For those of you just joining us now in the second period, we'll go through a brief scoring summary. At 8:26 in the first, Cohen George Mackey got the first off of a nice little pass, rebound from Jonah Cardinal and Brigham Nye, and then Kedrov with 1.4 seconds remaining in the first period with an absolute snipe.
That's going to be a call. It looked like Anthony Bertrand got the stick up too high into the face of Liam Rampersad. And Bertrand will be sent to the box. Second power play of the game coming up for the Paperkings.
And the Vikings had an outstanding penalty kill when they took their first penalty in this game, kept up the pressure, and the Paperkings barely had a shot on goal a minute and a half into that power play. Let's see if the Vikings can replicate or the Paperkings can actually take advantage of this time.
Vikings have taken the 6th most penalties in the league this year. The Paperkings have taken the most, 37 times they've been shorthanded through the first 6 games of the season. Again, their power play 4th in the league. 9 for 33 on the year coming into today. Pethick shoots it wide of the net. Menard keeps it in play, over to Pethick in the middle, shot that stopped, rebound in the slot, they score! It's Grant Booth with the goal, the power play marker, and the Paperkings cut the lead in half. It's 2-1.
The Paperkings clearly had a plan there, set up early on the outside. You saw Guthrie get into position in the bumper really early, provide a nice screen for the rebound in which Booth buries. An excellent play by the Paperkings, and they start clawing back that lead that the Vikings have early on in the second.
Brogan Colcoin made 12 saves in that first period, but it's the 14th one that gets by him. And that penalty kill for the Elliott Lake Vikings comes back to hurt them. And Colcoin, he did give up some rebounds in that first period, but the Paperkings could not capitalize on any of them. But that one was just too juicy of a rebound for them not to capitalize on there. There's another chance in front of the net, just goes wide. 3 minutes in, 2-1 our score. Backhanded pass, there's another chance, and it's off the stick of Callow in front of the net and lifted into the rafters.
Well, to build off what you were saying with the rebounds and sticks in front of the net, part of the reason that the Paperkings couldn't get anything done was the Vikings were really good at just crowding the front of the net, getting sticks on the puck the second that a rebound happened. And when you're down a man, you just don't have that opportunity, and that allows Espanola to convert on that opportunity there.
Back in the offensive zone for the Paperkings, but they cannot win the draw. Elliott Lake through the neutral zone. Dugwell dumping it in and following it to the end boards himself. Trying to keep possession here. He's got some support, but the Paperkings, too many guys in the area, and Gallant will move it the other way. Jason Gallant all the way into the corner, gets knocked off the puck, and now Matthew Callow with it. Off the skate of his own forward, and the Paperkings look to attack. Stopped in the middle, Callow has it again, and he'll send it up the left wing for Dugwell. Dugwell dumps it into the right side corner. Dugay's there for the Vikings, but could not get possession of the puck, and it comes out with Gallant again. He finds Drigo. Drigo tried to drop it back to Anderson, but it's turned over, and now Miller will go the other way. Drops it back, down to the right side, shot off the side of the net. And the Paperkings will get it down the ice. Callum Miller just running out of room there on that last play for Elliott Lake. Vikings get it out again. Dugay sends it down. Thompson has it. Whipped through, there's a stretch pass onto the table to Scarbo! And his shot goes off the shoulder of the goaltender, Colcoin, excuse me. That one is out of play. What a pass, though. Blue line to blue line.
That's a lot of ice to cover in this rink, and they make that pass perfectly. A really good opportunity. And Colcoin's positioning has just been incredible. Angles that one off easily.
At the point, Thompson turns it over. It's a foot race to it. Thompson diving, can't get it. Hendrick in all alone. Scores on the breakaway. On the backhand through the pads, and the Vikings are ahead 3-1.
We had a breakaway opportunity earlier from Windsor, and this time the Vikings make no mistake. It's just a couple of minutes apart. They go down on the penalty kill. They get scored against. The gap narrows to 1, and they're like, all right, we got to get one back. Great defensive play at the blue line. Turns on the Jets. Catches the Espanola defender flat-footed and is able to just peel away. What an excellent goal.
And what made it even more impressive, there's a turnover behind the net, and they get it right back.
Pure chaos as a misplay of the puck behind the net from Colcoin. And that was, I apologize. My lanyard hit the soundboard.
Oh, man.
A misplay behind the net, and then Murphy Grady is able to take full advantage of that and narrows the lead back within 1.
Oh. We're live, folks. Anything can happen. Oh, man. Yeah, that really is too bad for Colcoin back there. I mean, now you have to reset, right? That's just, your guys put you ahead 3-1, and then you misplay the puck.
just when you think you're pulling away.
That's exactly it. Rabopoulos with a shot. That one goes wide. But you also have to hand it to the Paperkings for just keeping the pressure on, staying high in the play, and not letting that breakaway really knock them off kilter here. The Paperkings try a stretch pass. It's touched. No, it's not. The arm goes up, and icing will be the call there on that play.
And you said it, Matt. The Paperkings have not looked fazed by anything that has happened in this game. Whether it's going down a goal, they've just kept up the pressure. They've kept playing their game, and that's led to lots of solid opportunities for them so far. They haven't looked phased. They haven't looked unnerved. They know that there's still more than in this game. They know what they did last season, and they're looking to tie this game up just as quickly as they closed the gap last time.
The Paperkings ahead 18-14 on the shot clock, but it's the Vikings who are ahead 3-2. I was going to say what impressed me about the goal from Dylan Hendrick. It was the burst of speed and the fact that he was able to maintain possession past Tyler Thompson. Thompson at 6'2", Dylan Hendrick at 5'11", and Thompson was really reaching for that puck, trying to keep it in possession in neutral zone as that one goes off a body and out of play. But Hendrick just used his speed and just basically pushed the stick of Thompson out of the way and got that clear breakaway chance on James Meredith.
Yeah, he was able to just keep up the pressure. He had to start off accelerating really quickly in order to even get to the puck, and then to just keep that up and burn towards the net that far into rushing up. Like, that's impressive stuff right there.
Oh, and Dugwell got held up, and now another hit with Miller on the near side boards. Anderson trying to find the puck for the Paperkings. Somebody's neck guard has come up. There is a delayed offside call, and now some calmness amongst the chaos of that play. Meredith. And the Paperkings dump it out. That's Justin Pitchor, and it's out of play. And the Paperkings and Vikings will reset in the neutral zone. It's 3-2 for the Elliott Lake Vikings, who are listed as the visiting team in this neutral zone game. But what that means for the Paperkings is they do get the last change. The Vikings haven't let them, the Paperkings with the last change. And there's a nice dump out to the blue line, but none of the Paperkings could catch up to it. Turnover, and there's a chance in the zone. The shot scores, and the Paperkings have tied this game 3-3. Lucas Dubois with the goal.
And that's just exactly the type of play that you need from the Paperkings. They keep up the pressure, a nice turnover at the blue line, 1-2 pass, simple, effective plays. As we were talking about, they're just unfazed by anything that has happened, the things that haven't gone their way, not letting themselves get rolling too hot, making mistakes when things have been going right, just playing their game, playing effectively, keeping things going, and we now have a tie game not even halfway through the second period.
And there's a chance on Meredith, and he smothers that one just as the white jerseys were converging into the area.
It's been a game of rushes, truly, as lots of opportunities have been made by blue line turnovers, quick breakouts, and simple, effective chances on the net. Shots now 20-15 in favor of, I believe it is the Paperkings.
Yeah, Paperkings are on the home side. I know it throws you off when it's a neutral zone game, or neutral ice game. Nice poke check to get that one out. Elliott Lake recovers. Carrier almost turning it over, still with the puck. He's being out-muscled towards it by Sam Lascarbo. Couple of hard checks right along the boards. Bertrand can't clear it. Lascarbo to the left side. Wicklander coming in. They score! The pass right onto the tape of Luke Hill. And for the first time this game, the Paperkings have the lead. It's 4-3.
In just a matter of minutes, Espanola has turned this around, taken the advantage. Simple, effective plays. They know that they're faster than the Vikings, and they've been taking full advantage, especially crashing towards the net like that. Man, this has just been a masterclass the past few minutes of offensive zone pressure by Espanola. Score now 4-3 in favor of the Paperkings as they win the drawback.
First goal of the season for Luke Hill, third point. And here they come again. Into the corner, that's Grant Booth. Couldn't get it to the line, and it's cleared out. Elliott Lake really on their heels. Again, they were up 2-0 entering the period. They led 3-1. But the Paperkings have stormed back, scoring 3 in a row. Menard into the corner, poked away from his stick from Jonah Cardinal. At the line, that is Grabanopoulos, puts it in the middle, twisting, turning, they got a brief shot off, but now it's Booth looking for the wraparound. Booth turns, fires, save made, and then pushed away. Pethick pushes it over the blue line. Menard trying to hold it there. Menard gets hit hard, and he stays down. And here come the Vikings, a shot. And it's off the glass, and after the shot, the whistle went. Menard gets up and will be able to skate to the bench under his own strength.
Vikings looking to get something back there. Can't quite create the space, but they're starting to push back a little bit. The thing that really allowed Espanola to get back in this game is the Vikings kind of stopped doing what was working for them. They stopped crowding the front of their own net as much, created more space, and on this size ice with the speed Espanola has, they know, oh, we just got to play our game plan now, and boom, 2 quick goals and they're up in this one.
In behind the Paperkings net, that's Pethick with the puck. Sent to the far side and lifted up and out. Chasing that one is Drigo, but out of his net to play is Meredith, but it goes over the glass and out of play. And the faceoff will be inside the Elliott Lake zone. I can't remember if they changed that ruling or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that...
I think it is. Looks like Gould is going into the box, so that will be not only a delay, it is a delay of game, and it's a delay of game penalty, which means the Paperkings have the power play once again.
Just in a moment of panic, goaltender has to make a play on the puck, just gets a little bit too much under it and barely misses the glass. And we saw Espanola now 1-for-1 on the power play in this game, convert really quickly and effectively.
At the point, Pethick shot high, rebound chance, and there it is again. It's a 2-goal lead now for the Paperkings, just 6 seconds into the power play.
They get the puck back to the blue line, fire it on net, look for the rebound wherever it is, and they're able to bury it. A similar play to last time, but instead of bouncing off the pads, it's off the backboard and into the back of the net for a really quick sequence. 6 seconds, you can't ask for a much better power play than that.
So we will take a break. The Paperkings have stormed back. It's 5-3, and we will return.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back in the Countryside Sports Complex for day one of the NOJHL Showcase. I'm Harrison Clements, and sorting through some technical difficulties is my good friend on play-by-play, Matthew Sukram. If you're just joining us, we have a quick flurry of goals from the Espanola Paperkings, now taking a 5-3 lead, now going 2 for 3 on the power play. The Vikings had a really good initial penalty kill, but has quickly been sorted out by Espanola, who's just been steamrolling here in the last few minutes of the second period. We have 9:51 on the clock. Matt, take us back to the game.
As the Vikings dump it in, and it will be covered up by Meredith. And now the buzzer goes, and I think that was a mistake, or they... You know what? I think the Vikings called a timeout. I don't think that was supposed to be our impaired break.
Well, back-to-back breaks.
Anyway, well, we already got our sponsor mention in there, so thanks again, Average Joe's, for sponsoring today's broadcast. And we got plenty of sponsorship and advertising opportunities for you. If you'd like, you can contact us at the Frontline Broadcast at Outlook.com, or just message us on Facebook or Instagram. Great deals that carry out throughout the season. If you would like to advertise right here on the Frontline Broadcast, your ads get shown right on our YouTube channel, as well on Flow Hockey for all of the Powassan Voodoo's games throughout the year. So with 9:45 to go, it is now a 5-3 lead for the Espanola Paperkings. Let's take a look at your scoring summary. Cohen, George McKee, and Ivan Kedrov scored to open things up for Elliott Lake. They had a 2-0 lead. Grant Booth on the power play made it 2-1. Dylan Hendrick made it 3-1 for Elliott Lake. But then it's been all Espanola since then. Grady Murphy, Lucas Dubois, Luke Hill, and Graydon Guthrie with his 8th of the season. And that's where we're at, 5-3. And remember, the goal by Grady Murphy came seconds after Elliott Lake made it 3-1, and we wondered how that would affect the tide of the game, with the Paperkings erasing a 2-goal deficit very quickly. And really the answer is the tide has turned completely for the Paperkings. Here's a chance, set up right in front, but a good back check denies the opportunity. Chasing that one into the far side now. Paperkings looking for control. Now they'll play it in behind the net. There's a turnaround, the shot. It's off the shoulder of the goaltender, Cole Coyne, and out of play.
And it looked like a slight miscommunication between the Vikings there, as Espanola gets a grade A opportunity. A semi 2-on-1, gets a shot towards the net, causes chaos, looking to extend the lead. They're up 2. They are not slowing down. They saw what was able to happen in the first, and like, we can't let that happen again, and looking to put as much space between them and the Vikings here in the second.
Kick save made by Cole Coyne, and the puck is sent down the ice. Kedrov racing towards it, centers it, there's a chance, dug well, but it's poked off his stick by Hill. Hill is able to push it up along the boards, and they get it out to the neutral zone, but it's Elliott Lake taking over. Sliding off the stick, Bertrand lost it, and it's picked up by Lescarbeau over the blue line, down the right side. Lescarbeau in behind the net, centering shot, scores! It's Caden Wicklander with the goal, and Espanola jump ahead 6-3. All 6 goals coming in the second period, and we are not through yet.
Looking to just steamroll the Vikings here in this period. Now with a 3-goal lead, Wicklander saw that play developing. An excellent quick zone entry along the boards, gets behind the net, And Wicklander finds himself essentially alone in the slot and gets to basically pick his shot, finds the back of the net. Now 25-17 are the shots and 6-3 the score.
Another chance. The puck's loose at the side post. And I don't know how Coin saw that, but he just kicks it out. In behind the net. Centering pass. That one's off the shoulder. And it comes down behind the net. And it touches the netting in the corner, and it's out of play.
A welcome pause to play there for the Vikings as they avoid another goal. The puck basically resting right near the goal line. Coin is able to kick that one away, and Espinola somehow missing the opportunity to bury that one.
Caden Wicklander with his first career goal in the NOJHL. And the Paperkings just keep attacking here. Through the legs. Pichor trying to clear it. Nye will get it. And Nye will race out of the zone with it. Down the left wing, he gets stopped in his tracks. Rampersard with the hit on that far side. Now into the neutral zone. Menard over the blue line. Sends it to Rampersard. The shot goes off the shoulder again and out of play. It's actually Ryder Lally that is now in net for the Elliott Lake Vikings.
After a quick flurry of goals, Elliott Lake's looking for anything to switch things up, swapping out their goaltender. They've just basically got to stick to what was working in the first period. Help your goalie out with those rebounds. Help him out in front of the net. The Paperkings have just had a ridiculous amount of clear slot shots.
And another save made by Lally.
A little bit of extracurriculars after the play on that one. Things starting to get heated, and understandably so. Espinola has been looking really good. The Vikings, not as much in this period. Still lots of hockey left to play, and it looks like the Vikings will get their first power play after what appears to be a roughing penalty given to Jack Anderson.
Yeah, and apologize for missing that. Ryder Lally actually came in after the third goal against Colcoin. So now he has unfortunately allowed 3 goals himself on the 6 shots he has faced.
It's been quite the furious period here in the second.
So this, as you said, is the first power play of the game for Elliott Lake, who come in with the last ranked power play in the league. 2 for 22 on the season, 9.1%. Here comes Gold. Pass into the slot. That one slapped away. Wicklander is hit hard. Stepping up into that one was Ivan Kedrov. In front of the net, it's under the pads and in. A little poke check puts the puck over the line, and Elliott Lake with the power play goal have made it 6-4.
And that hit on Wicklander sent the puck into the zone. A really nice cut towards the net. And what looked like kind of just a soft pass in front was lost by everyone. And a nice tip in narrows this to a 2-goal game. 6-4 now. I
think James Meredith thought he had control of the puck there. It was one of those things where he probably never even felt it under him, just assumed he had control, and
just a really nice finish on that one.
And like we said, yes, the Elliott Lake Vikings power play last in the league, but the Espinola Paperkings penalty kill is also last in the league. So you figured something had to give there, and now we've got another penalty coming up here. That should be Elliott Lake going to the box. Yep. And this is a huge penalty kill for the Vikings.
Yeah, they just start to bring things back. No, it looks like...
it might be both of them then.
Yeah, it looks like offsetting there, as I think the initial call was against the Paperkings, and then there was a retaliatory slash after the player went down, so we may have some 4-on-4 here.
Oh, I mean, if you're Elliott Lake, you have to keep calm now, because the Paperkings, they've got the lead, they've got the advantage, and now they're going to try to get under your skin and get you off your game.
Yeah, and the one thing that Espanola has been able to keep up consistently through this game is utilizing that speed, utilizing that space. And in 4-on-4 on this side of, well, no, it looks like it'll continue to be, it's going to be 5-on-4. Even though an extra player went to the box for the Paperkings, and the Vikings are right back at it.
So we'll wait for what the official word is from the public address announcer here. But right away, it's a Elliott Lake power play, but it's the Paperkings who are rushing in on the attack. Booth sending it to the far side. He gets there first. Dugwell knocks him off of it. Booth still looking for it in the neutral zone. He's trying to kill this penalty all by himself. There's a hard hit as Booth gets knocked down. And then another collision just behind the blue line with both players taking a tumble.
So it looked like an initial offsetting penalty, and then Menard got 2 for interference and 2 for roughing. So that's why the Vikings are on the power play right now.
Sent down the ice. Lally. And we're going to get another call here. I just saw a slash, and that is going against Kedrov. And so that will effectively end the 5-on-4. So we're going to have 4-on-4 for 1 minute and 1 second. And then the Paperkings will have a 59-second power play with 5:10 to go in the second period. It's 6-4 for the Paperkings, who have scored all 6 goals in this period, while the Vikings have 2 in each.
Spraying things out a little bit differently here as the Vikings come away with the puck.
That's Pichor dumping it out. And I don't know if either coach is going to be overly pleased with the period. Certainly offensively, they like scoring the goals. Defensively, they probably would like to do a few things differently. Blocked on the pass to Bertrand. Dugwell gets it back. Drops it to Picor. Dugwell looking for it. Another 5 seconds remaining in the Espanola power play. Elliott Lake about to go on the penalty kill. Out of the box comes Jason Gallant, and it's 5-on-4 for 50 seconds now as the Paperkings have the advantage. Wicklander's shot is stopped by Lally.
Wicklander able to carry that from his own zone with all this extra space now being on the power play, and gets a really clean look. And Lally able to position himself nicely and bring it to just 47 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Vikings.
Just under 4 minutes to play in this period. Paperkings out shooting the Vikings 29-19. And it looked like that stat wasn't going to matter through the first period, but it's really caught up with them in this second. Wicklander with the shot, save made by Lally. At the point, Pethek's shot is blocked, and the Vikings clear, and they have 30 seconds left on this penalty kill, which is, I believe, their 4th of the game now. Wicklander racing through the left side, puts on the brakes. Goes back to the blue line, across to the right side. At the line, Pethek still holding it there. Check that, Rampersad, excuse me. Rampersad in the middle. Booth's shot is stopped. Didn't get nearly as much of that puck as he wanted to. Rampersad looking to bring it in. Back to 5-on-5 as the Paperkings go offside with 3:05 remaining in the period.
And Caden Wicklander in the past few minutes has just been pouring on the offensive pressure. He had a couple of really good zone entries and clean looks at the net. But so far, Lally has been able to deflect everything that Wicklander was able to throw at him. And back to 5-on-5 here with 3:05 left. I think both teams would just be happy to keep things status quo throughout the last few minutes. 31-19 being the shots as another one goes into the net and Lally grabs that one up.
Unless you're Elliott Lake and go, let's score again with 1 second left on the clock, we'll certainly take that if you're, if you're the Vikings.
We've seen a little bit of everything here in this game.
We really have.
Matt. 2 different games between the periods, truly.
Kept in the zone. Another shot coming in, Lally, and that redirection almost cost them one as they had to be quick to make sure that didn't bounce off the glass and end up in the back of the net. At the blue line, shot comes in, another stop there, but the Paperkings get the rebound. That shot is blocked as well. Into the corner. Holding that one is Anderson. He'll skate around the zone with it. Tries to drop it back in the corner. That one's played away from the area, but it's once again controlled by the Paperkings and Anderson. But Elliott Lake now getting it out. Shot right back in by Espinola. Flipped off the end boards. It's up to the line. Gold trying to get it out, and he will. Now Espinola in the neutral zone. Dumped in by Drigo. Picked up quickly by Pecor. Into the Espinola zone, and Pecor has it again in the neutral zone. Lost it at the line. Marincola coming in. Trying to take the shot that stopped in the corner now. In behind the net. Dubois still with it. Gets his pocket picked behind the net, but he finds it again. Dubois still battling back there, throwing a hit. The Vikings trying to find control in front of the net, and they can't bury it. And now they go the other way with 1:20 to go. It's a 3-on-1. That's Dugwell down the ice. Gets stopped, left to the outside, and they never get a shot off on the 3-on-1. The Vikings might be kicking themselves for that one. A nice little pass there. Here they come again on the left side. Stopped in the circle, taking the shot. It's wide of the net. Dugwell looking for it on the near side. Gets pushed into the boards. Pethick throws it out over the blue line. Sizilski trying to bring that one over. Drops that one back to Bunn. Now to the left side. Dumped in over the blue line. There's a shot on net, just wide blocker side. Picked up on the far side by Cardinal. Cardinal behind the net. Hard hit thrown with 20 seconds to go. Trying to get it back to the line. It comes out. Bunn with it. Turns it over in the neutral zone and dumped down. Now into the corner with 8 seconds to go. At the blue line, Sizilski with it. Sizilski trying to move it through the neutral zone. Gets it to the right side. Taking the shot. They score, but it looks like time may have expired. I'm going to buy a lottery ticket tonight, right? I mean, if that goal counts, that's...
I hate to burst the bubble there, but I do believe that shot was just late after the buzzer. But another really close opportunity. The Vikings have not given up on any of the late period plays, and they get another late one on net there, and I don't believe that one is going to count, unfortunately, for Elliott Lake. Wow, what a period we had there, Matt. Oh, my goodness.
6 goals from the Paperkings, 2 from the Vikings, and it's a 6-4 lead for Espinola with 20 minutes to play. I'm Matthew Sukram. He's Harrison Clements. We will be back for the third period in just a few minutes. You're watching the 2024 NOJHL Showcase on Flow Hockey and listening to it on the Frontline broadcast on YouTube. Stay tuned.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalieresiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Why is Northern Honda servicing more cars of all makes and models? Let's count the ways. 1. Our state-of-the-art facility has award-winning technicians. 2. Northern Honda has the lowest tire price guarantee, no matter what you drive. 3. The lowest synthetic oil change guarantee, and every 5th oil change is free for all makes and models. Plus, new Honda buyers get brake pads for life. See the service difference at Northern Honda, 1250 Seymour beside Home Depot.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Check. Check. Welcome back. I'm Matthew Sukram alongside Harrison Clements. It is a 6-4 lead for the Espanola Paperkings over the Elliott Lake Vikings in our first game of the 2024 NOJHL Showcase. The Elliott Lake Vikings had a 2-0 lead. Then they led 3-1 before the Paperkings stormed back and scored 5 straight. But then the Elliott Lake Vikings got one more of their own.
Yeah.
And that's where we are at 6-4.
So it's been quite the different game here. It's almost felt like we've had 2 games here. The first period was a bit of a feeling out process for the two teams, as it's the first time that they've played each other. Elliott Lake was really strong in the net, in front of the net, took an early lead, 1-0, and then they were able to get a second goal with 1.7 seconds left in the second period, and then a flurry of goals happened in the second period, leading us to our 6-4, and now we have the third.
So the Vikings will be pushing the offensive button in this period. Lally back in net, or remains in net for the Vikings as he came into the game in the second period. And there he is making a save right there. Lally comes in with a 1-2 record, 3.65 goals against average, and .899 save percentage in the 3 games he has appeared in thus far.
Just to clarify, we had a possible goal at the end of the second period there, but that indeed was just after the buzzer went off. So
yeah,
we're still at 6-4.
Yeah, they didn't count that one. Rampersad at the half boards, trying to get it to Drigo. It's knocked around, now behind the net, picked up by the Vikings, and they clear, but they can't complete the pass out of the zone. Gallant in the middle, poked off a stick, shot comes in, that's stopped. On the end boards, a pass out in front is blocked as well, but they can't clear the zone. Rampersad with the shot, stopped in the middle, and cleared out of the zone. Over the blue line, that's Dylan Hendrick, who scored earlier in the game. That puck knocked around and back out to the neutral zone. Another shot comes in. It's into the corner on the far side. And over the blue line. Gravel gets it back, and they've got a rush going into the zone, but it's turned over and flipped over the boards and into the bench. Vikings looked like they had something going there, but the pass picked off.
Trying to carry that momentum that they had at the very end of the second into the beginning of the third here. Shots 31-20. Now the Paperkings outshot the Vikings 21-9 in the second period after being an even 10 in the first. Clearly just throw the puck towards the net and good things will happen for the Paperkings, taking advantage of their multiple power play opportunities as well, going, I believe it was 2 for 3 on their chances in the period when we also had a brief 4-on-4 opportunity. So they were just absolutely dominating in the shots category. Vikings looking to even things out here.
Espanola 2 for 4 on the power play in this game. Elliott Lake 1 for 2. As the Vikings pushing here in the offensive zone. At the blue line, Kedrov kept it in, but there's nobody there to pick up that pass. And it's out to the neutral zone. Now it's Gravel in control. At the line, now it's Kedrov trying to go in. He has scored today as well with 4 on the season now. That's turned over. Down the ice is Wicklander. This shot is off a stick and over the glass and out of play.
Wicklander has been doing a fantastic job at getting in the way in the neutral zone and starting rushes. He had a few opportunities after that flurry of power plays in the second period. Got a couple of really good shots on net, but so far Lally was able to look those off, and he's just looking to continue to have a solid performance.
Wicklander, a goal and an assist in this game. Here comes Cardinal. Sends it to the far side. Cardinal again now behind the net, gets held there. Wraparound chance, and they score! It's Brigham Nye with his second point of the game. And all of a sudden, the deficit is cut to 1. It's 6-5.
The Vikings have, despite having some up and downs throughout this game, kept up the pressure, making sure that they are not out of this one, bringing it within 1 goal just under 3 minutes into the third period. They've been tenacious. They've been doing a really good job of keeping up the forecheck and keeping the pressure onto the Paperkings, not letting them get too much space with a few really good opportunities, and Nye bring this within 1.
Brigham Nye with his first career NOJHL goal. Now there's a pass to the middle, and that gets blocked. Espanola is trying to set up in the offensive zone. Loose puck control, sent down the ice. It will be chased by Cardinal in behind the net. That one stopped, and the Paperkings get it out. That one will go for an icing call against Espanola. And you got to think they're starting to hold their sticks a little tightly here. They've seen their 6-3 lead drop down to a 6-5 lead.
Well, the one thing we have seen from Espanola throughout this game is their tenacity, their mindset of just playing their game continually, and that got them that lead. And I'm sure if they play with that same mentality, they can hold and even extend. But playing their game has also led to this 6-5 scoreline, so we'll have to see how they adjust as the game moves forward.
And Elliott Lake is on pace to do what they've done all game. They've scored 2 goals in each period. They've got 1 so far in this one. Looking for 1 more. Down the ice is Guthrie. That shot goes wide. Booth cutting to the middle. Still in control. He'll chase it into the corner. There's a hit thrown by Gravel. Now looking for the puck away from Guthrie. Guthrie still with it. Down on the point. Shot comes in. Wide of the net. Rebound in front. And the save is made by Lawley.
Espanola with a couple of good chances on Lowley's blocker side, but he's able to stay on top of those fairly well, keeping this a 1-goal game early in the third period.
And that's a big presence in front of the net. Graydon Guthrie, 6'2", 200 pounds. Shot comes in, that goes wide. Backhanded shot down the ice, and icing will be called on this one. 4:03 gone in the third period. 6-5 lead for the Paperkings. 6-5 lead for the Paperkings here in the third. They led 6-3. But now it's the Vikings who have scored the last two.
Both teams vying for their second win of the season here at the Showcase.
The Paperkings 1-3-0 entering today. The Vikings 1-3-0 entering today. The Paperkings 1-4-1. Again, coming off that 6-6 tie to the Blind River Beavers. And the Elliott Lake Vikings coming in after a 5-4 overtime win over the Gold Miners in Kirkland Lake on Saturday. That will be icing as well. That was a close one too. Callow had the angle.
Both teams with a couple of really good stretch pass opportunities here in the third period. Just trying to, Espanola trying to extend their lead. Vikings trying to tie things up, as this is their last opportunity to do so with a quarter of the period almost ticked away.
And this will make it back-to-back games in which the Vikings have scored more than 2 goals in a game. Again, that 5-4 overtime win was the first time they exceeded 2 goals in a game this season. Again, still early in the year for sure, but back-to-back games with 5 goals, regardless of how this one ends. That's a step in the right direction, I'd say. Hendrick down the left side over the blue line. Drops it back. Caught in amongst some skates. Sent down the ice. And this will be another icing against the Paperkings.
Both teams being stopped up fairly evenly at their blue lines. Just trying to clear through, make an opportunity happen, but just passing a little bit too far. And forcing a lack of line changes so far in the third.
5.5 gone in the third. Right off the draw into the glove of Meredith. And we will reset right there.
If you're the Vikings, you're more than happy to take any opportunity to stay in the offensive zone because, hey, down a goal, that's where you need to be, lining up for the draw.
The Paperkings looking for their first win since September 21st. That was a 7-6 victory over French River, but they are 0-2-1 in the 3 games they've played since then. And that will be another icing call against the Paperkings. And remember, you don't get to change on the icing calls, although they are in the defensive zone, which is closer to their bench in this period, as that shot off the draw goes right towards Meredith. So even if they can start to clear it, they do get the quick change, but the refs are looking to make sure that if it is icing, no one else is getting on the ice and trying to sneak out on there for a tired teammate. Now a stretch pass right down the middle. Poke save made by Lawley, and now it looks like that is going to draw a call. Holding will be going against Justin Pickor.
And just a little bit too aggressive there, trying to stop a breakaway opportunity for the Paperkings, and that will bring our first penalty of the third period. And as we said, the Paperkings have done a good job up a man so far, putting 2 in the back of the net, looking to put a 2-goal lead here in the third.
First power play opportunity for the Paperkings since 14:50 of the second period. It was a shortened power play. Pethick with the shot, save made, rebound turned aside as well. Puck kept in the zone at the line. Now it's turned over. It's going to be a breakaway. Dugwell on his feet down the line, and it's stopped by Meredith.
And that's all started by a really great physical play by Bertrand at the line. Is able to throw the hit, strip the puck, and get the pass up the ice. But so far, Meredith was able to stay on top of that. That's not the first breakaway opportunity that he's turned aside today.
I think they're getting another penalty here. I thought I saw someone enter the box here. And they are. It's going to be 5-on-3 now for 2 minutes. Anthony Bertrand is in the box. Something must have happened after Meredith made that save. An interference call is what it looks like.
Well, I think they may be deliberating whether that initial hit at the blue line may have been interference as the puck was up in the air. But it's odd that it wouldn't have gotten called after the initial play.
And what do you think would have happened if Dugwell was able to score? That would have been... I think we got a timeout called here as well. Unless they are deliberating on... Because none of the coaches seem to be upset or talking to the officials, so... It must have been a timeout there called by Espinola.
Yeah. As a buzzer did go off, so that does signal the end.
So the Paperkings... up by a goal. They will now have 2 extra personnel on the ice. And this is a huge penalty kill for Elliott Lake.
So we will have a brief minute 24 of 5-on-3, and then a brief period.
In behind the net. Wicklander lost it at the line. He'll have to chase into the neutral zone. Menard across to the far side, down the left. Stops and turns back and finds Pethick. Pethick, Wicklander, shot gets stopped and it will be cleared. 1 minute remaining in the initial penalty to Pickor. 1:20 to go in the secondary penalty to Nye. Over the blue line, Booth got knocked off the puck and it's cleared to the neutral zone. Pethick feathers that over to Menard. And the Elliott Lake Vikings have the puck and they send it down the ice. 30 seconds to go. That clock is not moving fast enough if you're the Vikings right now. Booth back over the blue line. To the middle. Pethick cannot hold on to it.
Some blue line troubles costing opportunities.
Turnover. Dugwell will have another opportunity. Down the ice. The move. And he gets denied again. Wraparound chance and he's pushed away. 10 seconds to go in the initial penalty. It's a 3-on-2 into the zone. Dugwell trying to get back. The pass across is stopped. And Dugwell will come back down with one of his teammates out of the box. 20 seconds to go on the second penalty. It's a 5-on-4 with 15 seconds to go now. The Elliott Lake Vikings not out of the woods yet, but they do get some fresh legs out there. Behind the net, centered. What a save made there as Ryder Lawley just reacts in the nick of time. Hard hit coming over the line on Dugwell, who's had a ton of ice time already in this third period. In behind the net, the Paperkings looking to center it. Up in the air, comes back down. And the Vikings, who are back to 5-on-5, will dump it in. Well, they survived the scare through the first 9 minutes of the period. They've gotten an early goal in this period. Paperkings avoid the icing call. And Elliott Lake trying to control the bouncing puck. In behind the net. Carrier. And it's lifted out. Down the ice. Both men diving for it. Off the boards. Rampersad behind the net. He finds Makasoff. Whip back around behind the net to the near side. Duguay pinching in up high. Behind the net, Hendrick tried to center it. It bounced off to Edmonds. Check that Dubois, excuse me. And then it's on the far side to Duguay. Back to the point. Callow keeps it in. Good pressure here from Elliott Lake. Hendrick on the half boards. Hendrick with the shot. It just goes high. Callow now trying to dump it in. Rampersad fans on it. Tripped up behind the net. And the play will continue. That one sent down the ice. Lally out of his net to play it. Off the glass. Foot race to it. Poke check made. And now controlled by Carrier. Carrier who scored the overtime winner for the Vikings against Kirkland Lake on Saturday. Sent around to the far side. That's controlled by Cardinal. Still at the line. Knocked off his stick. But the Vikings still in control. Nye to the point. Big slapper from Pickor. It's in front of the net, but nobody able to get a tap on it. Gravel will chase it down the ice with 9 minutes to play in this third period. 1 goal lead for the Paperkings. Down the right side, dumped in. That's Miller there. In the corner. Trying to catch up to that one was Cardinal. Espinola gets it out. Dumped down, Gravel chasing. And he'll catch up to it. Pushing it over the blue line. The Vikings trying to get back in position. Nye at the end of a long shift. He'll head off. 8:10 to play in the third. Stretch pass. Wicklander still controlling. Knocked off his stick by Dugwell, and he'll get out of the zone. Dugwell still going in. And a big bump at the blue line. Gets Dugwell off the puck and sent back down into the Viking zone with the Paperkings pressing. That shot out. Pethick with it. Here comes Espinola. Menard with the pass to Guthrie. It's under his stick. Whip back around to the near side. Kedrov clears. Touched by Bertrand going in, but the goaltender Meredith plays it to the far side. Back out to the neutral zone. Gravel can't get into the offensive zone. He'll try Kedrov on the near side. In the middle. Trying to get it back to Kedrov. That pass did not work from Windsor. And so they play it from their own blue line. Back up to Kedrov. Still can't enter the zone. Now Gravel dumps it in. But that allows Espinola to gain possession as Pethick clears it. Caught in the middle. And they're going to call a hand pass on that play, as it went off the hand of Kendrick, and it was touched in the middle by Gould. 6:47 to go when we return. It's 6-5 Espinola.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we are back here with you in the third period. 6:47 remaining in this game. 6-5 the lead for the Espinola Paperkings. And a huge penalty kill in the middle of the third. Killing off a 5-on-3 are the Vikings, followed up by an excellent couple of minutes of offensive zone pressure. But Meredith and the Paperkings able to keep the puck out of the back of the net. Both teams only being held to a handful of shots on goal as we get back after the mid-period break here, the final one of the game.
And I think both the coaches would have liked to have seen some stuff cleaned up in the neutral zone. There were opportunities for guys to get in and maybe go in odd man rushes here and there, but they just couldn't settle the puck down. And you got to think, it's nervous time now, right? The Paperkings are in danger of seeing their 3-goal lead evaporate. The Vikings, and it's the Paperkings with a wraparound chance, but that one is stopped as Pitawanakwat could not send that one in. Pitawanakwat still with it. At the line, Ramperstart's shot comes in, and Lawley is able to deflect it over the glass and out of play.
And the second period felt like all Paperkings, but so far in the third, the Vikings have been throwing everything they can in the offensive zone, just trying to tie this one up as the clock dwindles away, and they're kept back in their own zone.
There's a shot right off the draw, save made. Dubois getting stopped on that one by Lawley. Paperkings still in control, centering pass, Dubois there, poke check made though. I don't think Dubois really even got the shot, he got hit going through the slot area. Windsor knocked down, Gravel with the puck. Windsor backtracking, looking for some support here, tries the near side, couple of guys knocked down. Pickor ends up with it. The Vikings trying to move it, Windsor goes through the right side. Windsor with the shot on net, and Meredith makes the save. 5:46 to go in the third. 6-5 Espanola.
Espanola with a couple of good opportunities there. Lawley quick to react, keeping this a 1-goal game. Espanola trying to have a more comfortable lead as the clock dwindles down. 5:46 remaining, shots 36-25 in favor of the Paperkings. And we saw a flurry of shots in the second period, and it's been kind of bookended with 10 apiece in the first, and then roughly only 4 or 5 apiece here in the third period from each team. Vikings now with an offensive zone draw, hoping that one of those shots ends up in the back of the net.
Nye to take the draw and trying to win it back. Shot comes in. Looked like Carrier on the far side. Big hit just behind the blue line, and the puck just squeaks out. Miller trying to go the other way. Nye with him. Sent forward. Miller coming in. Miller with the shot. Lifts it over the glass. Out of play. 5:23 to go. And remember, Espanola, all their offense came in that second period. They got nothing in the first. Got all 6 in the second. They've got nothing yet so far in the third period, while the Vikings have gotten a goal, 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the second, and 1 now here in the third. Espanola able to get it out. Callow chasing, icing called against the Paperkings.
Another offensive zone draw for the Elliott Vikings as the period dwindles down. Vikings able to change their players. Espanola still kept on the ice. 5:09 now in the period.
And remember, that happened a lot at the beginning of this period. Espanola was just dumping that puck down and giving the Vikings a lot of offensive zone draws. Try to look for the stretch pass to Guthrie. Guthrie gets it, sends it to the left side. Booth is there in the corner battling for it. Behind the net now to Menard. Menard tries to play it in front. Nice block there, but Menard gets it back. And his shot just trickles over to the goaltender, Lawley. And he holds on to it for another stoppage in play with 4:43 to go. in the period.
A really nice sequence of back checking there from Carrier, just making things really uncomfortable for Espinola, giving his team that room to breathe, keeping them in this, and making sure that Lally has ample opportunity to stop any pucks coming his way.
Face-off won by Gravel. Or one over to Gravel, and he plays it behind the net. Now Windsor lost the handle on it. Drigo. Somebody's lost a stick here as it goes flying. Gould trying to get it over the blue line, and it's cleared back down the ice, and it will be another icing call.
Espinola just cannot get effective changes in. Vikings putting on the pressure, forcing the Paperkings to make not ideal clearing attempts, and again, another offensive zone draw in under a minute for the Vikings.
But again, it's won by Espinola. And I think that has been the key. I feel like they've won a majority of these draws, so it really hasn't affected them negatively to just ice the puck. Because again, they are also, their bench is basically in the defensive zone, so they can get these quick changes after the draw. And there's a chance now, wide of the net, picked up on the far side. Center glove save made by the goaltender Lawley, snatching that one out of the air.
And that was a really nice back pass by, I believe that was Drigo. And Lawley saw that one the entire way and was able to get the quick glove on it. He's looked sharp here in the third period, keeping his team in this.
Just under 4 to play, 6-5 lead. There's a shot, save made. The whistle is gone, waiting for an official to make a call here. I think the official lost sight of the puck. I think they thought the goaltender had it frozen. So they'll do it again. Off the glass, at the line. Chasing that one are the Vikings. They've got a 2-on-1 in the zone. Kedrov trying to pass it back one more time. But Gallant is able to disrupt the play. And now on the far side, or on the back end of the play, we've got 2 players down. A 2-on-1 in the other zone for Espinola goes for naught. And now it's the Vikings coming back the other way with numbers. Shot save made! And right on the blue paint, the goaltender, Meredith, has to smother it.
Kedrov following up on that one as he saw the loose puck. Meredith didn't quite get all of that one. And Elliott Lake with a really nice rush there. Couple of high danger opportunities. But Meredith and the defense of the Paperkings making sure that this one stays out of the back of the net. Pressure mounting as 3:16 remains.
Callow behind the net. Nye with it. Nye moving it down the left side boards. And it's cleared out. Vikings trying to go in on side. Espinola clears. Carrying that one is Murphy. Wicklander trying to feed it through. Oh, and there's a hard hit from behind right on the boards. And now the whistle is gone. And I think Elliott Lake is going to get penalized here. Maybe both. That looked like a pretty hard hit from behind, though, on the boards.
Yeah, there was an initial hit. Call wasn't made. And then as the puck was passed out, looked like some rough stuff was going on. And it appears that Lescarbot will be ending up in the penalty box.
But so is Carrier for the Vikings. He's in the penalty box too.
And it looks like only 2 on the board against the Elliott Lake Vikings. So it appears that they're going to have to kill off another penalty with just 2:41 remaining here. That is not the position they want to be in, especially after a really good effort in the middle of the third period, coming off of that 5-on-3 kill.
Yeah, Elliott Lake has played almost a perfect period, especially coming into it down by 2. So roughing is the call. Paperkings looking for the goal. That one does not go in. Dugwell now down the left side. Dugwell, shot, save made by Meredith, and he'll freeze it. 2:15 to play in the third period. And there's, about 40 seconds between the penalty clock and the game clock?
Yeah, the Vikings are not going to have a lot of time. They're basically hoping for a shorthand opportunity, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pull the goalie to try and get 5-on-5 here.
Kedrov with the shot off the draw. That gets stopped. That was going to be my question is, do you do it if you get that zone time? It's a risky decision, though. Here comes Kedrov through the middle. Kedrov trying to draw to the right side, but it's poked off his stick. Guthrie behind the net, sends it back there for Pethick. The captain, knowing that time is against the enemy, is able to slowly skate it up and dump it down. If you're Espinola at this point, you're not really looking for the goal, are you? But now they've got an opportunity. There's a big stop by Lawley. And as as Menard touches the puck, the whistle goes. Slashing is going to be the call. And it looks like we'll get things evened up at 4-on-4 for 54 seconds. And then the Vikings will have the man advantage.
And that's
for a minute 6.
And that's just the break that the Vikings needed. They start off that kill really well, and they kind of get lucky with a very favorable call. And for the rest of this game, unless they score, they're going to be at 4-on-4.
At the point, kept in the zone, walking in is Kedrov. Kedrov drops it back to the corner. They're going to pull the goaltender to get the 5-on-4, and it could eventually be a 6-on-4, but it's turned over. This will go the length of the ice, and it will be icing called. Oh my goodness.
A close foot race.
Here's the thing that they have to remember is that it's technically 4-on-4 play, even though Vikings have the extra guy out there. So the referees had to realize that that was an icing call. They're not killing a penalty right now, despite being down by a man.
It got awful close to the hash marks before a call was made. A, because it was a tight foot race. B, seemed like there may have been slight miscommunication about what the whistle was going to be.
So 29 seconds remaining in the penalty to Carrier. 1:10 remaining on the board. They win the face-off to Hendrick. Plays it at the half boards. Walking in. Windsor's shot. That's stopped. Paperkings can't clear it. Centering pass. Hendrick with the shot. That's stopped. Lots of traffic in front. Hendrick looking for his second of the game. Windsor back to Hendrick. 4 seconds left. Pass to the far side. The shot comes in. That's stopped. It's now a 6-on-5, and icing is no longer in effect because it's a power play now for the Vikings. Excuse me, it's a 6-on-4. It's Hendrick over the line. He gets stopped. Menard to Gallant. Gould at the line. Tries to get to Bertrand on the far side. Bertrand drops it back to Windsor at the blue line. Into the corner, centering, it's right there, and they can't bury it. What a chance for the Vikings, and they could not beat Meredith with now 11.3 seconds on the clock.
A really good sequence there from the Vikings, just trying their best to tie this up in the dying seconds, and just a couple of fumbled pucks leave those quick shots unable to be taken. And it will come down to this draw. Espinola's been very good at winning their own zone draws. Vikings need this.
And they will reset. It's Nye in the middle for the Vikings. It's a scramble in the circle. 5 seconds to go with the puck in the corner. Nye trying to dig it out there. 3 seconds to go. And the Espinola Paperkings are going to hang on for a 6-5 win.
What a game. What an ending. You cannot get much closer than this. The Vikings certainly made things interesting, pulling their goalie, having really effective penalty kills throughout the third period, throughout the entire game, frankly, aside from that sequence where Espanola just seemed to run away with everything in the middle of the second period. A hard-fought effort here for the Paperkings, and after that second period, you kind of had to think that they had to feel really good, and the Vikings get it back, get it within one really early, and it just was an entire battle throughout the end of this game.
So the Paperkings improved to 2-4, 1-0 on the year, and the Elliott Lake Vikings dropped to 1-4 on the season, but what a hard-fought battle. Again, you talk about overcoming some adversity early on in the season, and that's exactly what the Elliott Lake Vikings did in this game, up 3-1 to go down 6-3 and make it a one-goal game. I mean, I know it's not going to count for anything. They don't get any points, but there are some really good lessons for the Vikings to take out of this contest. And hey, remember last year they were swept by the Paperkings. They almost beat them in this one. Hendrick will be awarded player of the game for the Elliott Lake Vikings. And Caden Wickland gets awarded player of the game honors for the Espanola Paperkings.
And this will be awarded after the end of every game that takes place here at the showcase. Both teams will have a player nominated, and a really, really hard-fought battle. You could have named a lot of different people from the Vikings. I think that Doug Well certainly was a candidate there. He was out there for the penalty kill, super effective on that, with a lot of shorthanded opportunities that could not find the back.
An unusual amount of shorthanded opportunities.
Doug Well was an absolute warrior out there, but Hendrick played a really solid game and more than deserving of those honors. And I definitely agree with Wicklander. He had a fantastic game, just an offensive, frankly, a two-way menace this entire bout. So what an exciting game here between the Paperkings and the Vikings. I don't think we predicted such a high-scoring affair at the beginning of this one, but we are more than happy to see such an exciting game for our kickoff to the showcase.
Yeah, absolutely. So Harrison and I will step away. Courtney and Ben will bring you the Voodoos and the
Blind River
Beavers coming up next. Tomorrow they're playing the Cubs. This is what I'm getting confused with. But you can stick around. We'll have that game for you right here on our Frontline Broadcast YouTube channel. You can also watch it on Flow Hockey, and Harrison and I will be back for a couple of games at the very least tomorrow as well. So thank you so much for joining us. Have a great rest of your day. For Harrison Clements, I'm Matthew Sugro. We want to thank Mike Brown for doing the camera. It is his birthday, so happy birthday, Mike Brown. And from the first day of the 2024 NOJHL Showcase, we're signing off. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the Clubhouse by Gateway Golf. Located on Oak Street East in North Bay, with over 200 plus real-time courses, simulator arcade games, and delicious eats, the Clubhouse is North Bay's newest social hangout. You can book times now at gatewaygolf.ca or come visit at 245 Oak Street East in North Bay, Ontario. The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalieresiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency. Welcome to the Clubhouse by Gateway Golf. Located on Oak Street